Hello, everyone. We began with the idea that risk is the bridge between dreams and reality. Now let us go deeper. Let us walk through history, nature, and human experience to see why taking risks truly leads to success. Think about fire. Thousands of years ago, human beings lived in darkness when the sun went down. They feared wild animals. They feared the night. Then one day, someone took a risk. Someone touched lightning-scorched wood and decided to bring fire into their life. Imagine how dangerous it felt. The flames could burn them. The smoke could choke them. The tribe might reject the idea. Yet, by risking danger, they discovered warmth, light, and protection. That single risk opened the path to civilization. Now think about the great explorers of the seas. In the 15th century, many people believed the ocean was endless. Maps were unfinished. No one knew what lay beyond the horizon. Yet sailors risked their lives to find out. Christopher Columbus, Ferdinand Magellan, Vasco da Gama. These men risked storms, hunger, and death. Some never returned, but their risks gave birth to discoveries that shaped the world forever. The lesson is clear. If they had stayed at shore, safe and comfortable, the world would have remained small. But because they risked the unknown, they expanded the map of human knowledge. The same is true in science. Imagine the first person who tasted a strange fruit. Maybe it was sweet, maybe it was bitter, maybe it was poisonous. Yet by risking, humans discovered food. Later, scientists risked their careers and their reputations to test new ideas. Galileo risked imprisonment by saying the Earth moved around the sun. Marie Curie risked her health while experimenting with radiation. Thomas Edison risked years of failure to find the perfect light bulb filament. When he was asked about his many failed experiments, he said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that do not work." That is the spirit of risk. To fail is not the end. To fail is simply another step toward success. But risk is not only found in history books. Risk is present in daily life. Imagine a student who dreams of speaking English fluently. At first, he feels shy. His accent is not perfect. His grammar is not perfect. What if people laugh? What if they do not understand? That student stands at the edge of risk. If he stays silent, he will never learn. If he dares to speak, he may make mistakes. But those mistakes will lead him to growth. Every English learner must take that risk. To open the mouth, to use the words, to stumble and to rise again. That is how fluency is born. Risk also appears in love and relationships. Imagine a young woman who sees someone she admires. She feels her heart beating faster. She wants to speak, but she fears rejection. She fears embarrassment. Yet if she never risks speaking, she will never know if love could grow. All deep human connections, friendships, marriages, partnerships, begin with a risk. We must risk opening ourselves. We must risk being vulnerable. Only then can trust and love blossom. Nature itself teaches us the importance of risk. Think about the eagle. Before a young eagle can fly, the mother pushes it from the nest. The little bird falls, flapping its wings wildly. It is terrified. But in that terrifying moment, it learns to fly. Without the risk of falling, there is no flight. The same is true for us. We must be willing to fall if we want to rise. Now let us look at business. Every successful company you know was born from risk. Apple, Google, Amazon, Tesla. All of them began as risky ideas. Steve Jobs risked dropping out of college. Jeff Bezos risked leaving a safe job on Wall Street. Elon Musk risked almost all of his money, investing it into rockets and electric cars when everyone said he would fail. At one point, he was nearly bankrupt, but he believed in the future. He took the risk. And today, His companies have changed the world. The truth is, success and risk are twins. They walk together. You cannot separate them. If you desire success, you must accept risk. Many people wait for the perfect moment, the safe moment, when there is no risk. But that moment never comes. Waiting for safety is the same as waiting for nothing. The only path is to step forward, even when the ground feels shaky. Some may say, "But what if I fail?" And yes, failure is possible. But let us look at failure with new eyes. Failure is not an enemy. Failure is a teacher. Every failure gives you information. Every mistake gives you wisdom. Imagine learning to ride a bicycle. The first time, you fall. The second time, you fall again. But each fall teaches you balance. Finally, you ride smoothly. Without those small failures, you could never ride. In truth, every success is built on a foundation of failures. Let us return to history for another lesson. In the early 20th century, many scientists dreamed of space travel. People laughed at them. Rockets seemed like madness. Yet visionaries like Konstantin Tsiolkovsky and later Wernher von Braun risked their careers to study rocket science. Decades later, their ideas carried humans to the moon. Imagine the courage it took for Neil Armstrong to step onto that spacecraft in 1969. He knew the risks. He knew he might never return. But because he accepted that risk, humanity took its first step on another world. Every invention, every breakthrough, every achievement shares this pattern. Someone dared to risk. But let us also remember something important. Taking risks does not mean acting without thought. A wise risk is not blind. It is guided by vision. The explorers studied the stars. The scientists tested and experimented. The entrepreneurs made plans and calculated their chances. Risk must be combined with preparation. That is why it leads to success. Foolishness leads to destruction, but wise risk leads to progress. Think about the seed again. A farmer cannot guarantee that every seed will grow. Some will die. Some will be eaten. But the farmer does not stop planting. He plants many seeds. He accepts the risk of loss because he believes in the harvest. And in the end, enough seeds grow to feed the family, the village, and the world. So, my friend, if you wish to succeed, you must be like the farmer. Plant your seeds. Take your chances. Do not wait for certainty, because certainty never arrives. Ask yourself, what is the risk I am avoiding? What dream lies inside me waiting to be born? Perhaps it is learning a new language. Perhaps it is starting a small business. Perhaps it is moving to a new city or speaking your truth to someone you love. Whatever it is, the risk you fear may be the very door to the life you want. Remember this: regret is heavier than risk. At the end of life, people do not regret the chances they took. They regret the chances they did not take. They regret the words they never spoke, the journeys they never made, the dreams they never followed. Do not carry that regret. Take the risk today. When we look back at history, when we look at nature, when we look at ourselves, the answer is always the same. Success does not come to those who hide. Success comes to those who dare. So let your story be one of courage. Step into the unknown. Embrace the possibility of failure. And know that with each risk you take, you move closer to the life you were meant to live.